All right, we got a 2v2 this time. Turin and I are going to be squaring off against Janet on Occasion and Gojira Gaming. So let's take a look at these two armies and see how this goes. So as far as Turin and I's army, I went with I guess you could say infantry force. Nice strong line of 4 swordsmen, followed by 4 units of halberdiers. Then in the back here, we've got 2 units of the Demogryph Knights, one of them, of course, being the Royal Altdorf Griffites. We also went with a Warrior Priest here with only the Sacred Hammer and Shield of Faith. In addition to that, we just a unit of Huntsmen, just get some good anti-large. And we also have Boris Toddbringer and a Jade Wizard with just their 2 healing abilities, Regrowth and Earthblood. Now, as far as Turin's army goes, he went with all the fun goodies that can really do a lot of the micro, because he's better at that than I am. We've got 2 Empire Knights, Royal Altdorf Griffites. We've got 2 War Wagons here. If you haven't seen them, here are the War Wagons, a brand new unit added to the Empire. Now, these guys do AP missile damage 34, which is pretty good, right? But they have a nice 50 speed. They can tank things. They can move, or I'm sorry, they can kite things quite well. There is a mortar variant, and there's also a Hellblaster volley gun variant. This is just the standard variant of them. We also will see the Hellblaster volley gun variant, which is the Black Lions, the Regiment Renown version. 772 whopping AP damage, going to be thundering out of these big boys as they get a real good range on them at 250. So they can get a really good, actually, yeah, we can see it here pretty well. They can pretty much shoot down range here and then move and displace as needed. So the War Wagon is a real fun new addition to the Empire army. I should also show you guys the new Huntsman. Here we go right there. Look how poncy and awesome they look all at the same time. They get a nice 160 range, but they also have a 21, which 21 damage, and 8 of it being anti-large. But at the same time, they do have stock, and they have Vanguard as well, so they can also fire whilst moving, which is pretty advantageous when you think about how these guys can be used to ambush or place in Vanguard to really get a good drop on any of the large creatures that you'll be dealing with, especially in campaign with this new DLC. Now, in addition, we're also going to be seeing some spearmen and a great cannon back here and back here as well. You can already see the noose is kind of tightening on us back there, but we also have another unit of spearmen way back here as well to help out with getting anything that jumps all the way back here that is Vanguard placed. Now, taking a look over at Gojira and Janet on Occasion's army, they have a lot of Feral Cold Ones. 4 units here, and then 4 more here. So they've gone hard in the paint with these Feral Cold Ones. Actually, there's 5 over here. They also have a Beastcaster to help out with some Manicore summons, as well as 2, count them, 2 Feral Dread Saurians. Remember how I was talking about typically we'll be seeing the Feral version of these guys? Boom, here's 2 big and bad and ugly ones, 750 AP damage here. We see 2 Bastiladon's Revivification Crystals to help keep these guys afloat. We're also going to be seeing a lovely Nakai the Wanderer himself. Does not have his miasma or his other ability that does help out with physical resistance and enraging things, but he does have Golden Tributes, which helps give everything perfect vigor in a 30-meter radius around him. Now, as far as our infantry goes, we're going to be seeing a lot of skinks all the way across the line here. Nothing but skin cohorts. In the back, we see the Legion of Chakwa. These guys have a lovely little anti-large as well as their cool Shield of Chakwa ability. And we're also going to be seeing not a banana spawn here, with some life helping out with both Shield of Thorns and Earthblood. He also has his Shield of the Old Ones and Banishment abilities. And in the far back, 1, 2, 3, 4 units of Cold One Spear Riders. So let's get this fight underway here. We've spent 4 grueling minutes going over everything included, but that is necessary. This is a massive amount of units on the battlefield. You can already see the Empire cannons are shooting down range at those Dread Saurians, getting a couple shots in. But what's this? Uh-oh, some Pterodon Riders are sneaking up, looking to do some damage to all of our cannons here, looking to drop some bombs on them. Wait for it. I'm going to get right underneath it. And there it goes. Right into the Spearman as well, doing just tons of damage here, almost completely crippling one cannon entirely, shutting it down, and the other one is pretty much out of commission here, as these guys will continue to shoot into them. You can see that we've also used the snare from Markus Wulfhart. Let's go ahead and pause this and take a look at Markus real quick, because I did not do that at the very beginning of this. You can see Markus here. Now he has got some amazing abilities. Now he has 556 weapon missile strength here. That is AP and it's anti-large. In addition to that, take a look at some of this. He's got fleet-footed, so he can move quite quickly. In addition, he's got Hunter's Snare, which is that ability you just saw, that yellow net that went down. So it's like Net of Amontauk. It works in a radius of 30 meters, and it locks things down for a solid 11 seconds. In addition, we get Focused Shot, which is a single target or single entity target ability, which does a massive amount of damage here. Scaled projectile damage against combatants with missing health. So the weaker they are, the more damage that this will do. In addition, we also get Amber Bow, which will do a lot of damage to groups as well as single targets, but you can use it for either one. And it's got quite a long range at 250 meters, which is outside of his actual fireable range. So keep that in mind when you do use Markus, that his abilities are outside of his actual bow's range. But when you also factor into fleet-footed, his range increases. So keep that in mind, as he is quite good at soloing and shooting down individual targets here. Looks like we already have the Feral Cold Ones jumping into these swordsmen and looking to rip things up. Also going into our braced halberdiers, which is not going to be too great for them. Remember, Feral Cold Ones do have a lot of AP damage here, but they do have low leadership at the same time. You can see that front battle's already underway. Feral Dreadsaurian ripping through that front line, getting hot and heavy there. Just looking to eat up all of those Empire soldiers, bringing in those halberdiers to help mitigate some of that damage here, trying to get some anti-large and AP into them. We do have an Earthblood that's popped off as well. Nakai is also just thundering his way into things, knocking things around with his giant Bat of Doom. And you can see that Markus is trying to pull back into our army. He's getting some supporting help from those Altdorf Griffites charging into them. But we also see the other Dreadsaurian looking to just make his way into this fight, slamming things all over the place. Let's go ahead and get a slow-mo recap of everything going on here. So, quite a bit is going on. So we can see that all of our war wagons are starting to shoot into this single Feral Dreadsaurian, and we can see that we're getting also some play in the background from other skin cohorts and Feral Cold Ones, eating that charge into that Amethyst Wizard here, looking to just get some Spirit Leeches onto these big boys. At the same time, we have Boris Todbringer looking to get a good charge, getting a good target here. The Warrior Priest has pushed into this flank as well, and the back line is pretty well secured for both Gojira and Janet on occasion. Let's see how this kind of plays itself out here. Oops, wrong button. And again, this thing is just getting plucked apart by the Black Lions. Those guys do have a lot of AP damage. They're shooting down range. Now, the Huntsmen are starting to shoot in as well. Now, it isn't AP damage, but any anti-large in this situation is going to help out a ton. It is quite the fray going on here, not to be confused with the hit alternative band from the turn of the millennium. Shield of the Old Ones has gone off as well, giving a nice amount of damage mitigation to both of those Feral Cold Ones. You can see Focus Shot is trying to shoot in here onto this one with less health. It will do more damage to it. At the same time, it'll help kind of take that thing down out of the way. It does have Revivification Crystal popped onto it as well, so it'll help out by helping bring its health back. Ooh, there's that shot. Does quite a bit of damage. Not a whole ton, but I mean, 20% damage for one ability is great. Look at that snare. Hunter Snare is going to lock everything down in this location over here, allowing for both Markus and any of the other backline things to do quite a bit of damage. Now, we did get an errant banishment that went off. Didn't quite get a chance to focus on that. You can see the Empire Knights are clashing with the Cold One Spear Riders over here. They're in a little bit of hot water here as the Cold One Spear Riders are outperforming with the anti-large and AP they're bringing to the table. The Dreadsaurian is just getting smashed and pushed into both the Demogryph Knights with halberds and these halberdiers, which is not too great for him. He is rampaging right now, which is not too awesome, and he's surrounded by the Royal Altdorf Griffites as well, and it's a Warrior Priest. Now we look in this right flank, it is starting to collapse into the remainders of these two units of swordsmen and this halberdier unit, which is on this Basiladon with Vivification Crystal as well. The Pterodons at the same time are really running amok. They're in that back line. They're just getting into that cookie jar pretty hot and heavy. Some supporting elements from Royal Altdorf Griffites on Turin's side are pushing in to help out with the compromised back line, all the skin cohorts that are up in that ass. Empire Knights retreating backwards here, trying to help out against a lot of these Feral Cold Ones that are jumping onto the War Wagons. War Wagons bringing a lot of AP damage to the table here too, so shutting these down is going to be key. But Cold One Spear Riders with anti-large are jumping onto those War Wagons as well, helping to really put a lot of pressure onto Turin's mobile shooting force. Now, jumping over here back into the mid-fight, we can see that the Revivification Crystal has brought this Feral Dread Saurian back online to about 50% health. This one, the far left flank, is in real bad shape here. We have both my units of the Demogryph Knights with the Warrior Priests trying to put a lot of pressure onto them. Boris Todbringer is right here, flying over the battlefield. He was doing some damage with Nakai the Wanderer in a one-on-one duel, but he pulled up out of that because he was starting to get swarmed by all these skink cohorts. Didn't want him to get plucked in that fight for too long. That would have been an engagement that very much would have favored Nakai. Nakai can do so much burst damage in one go. Boris has a new target though. It is the Slann himself. He's coming in for that attack, looking to dive bomb right into it. Boom! Headbutts that bad boy. You've got a little Deadly Onslaught that's been popped as well. You've got some Halberdier support jumping in on this. Also some swordsmen that are fleeing away. As far as this left flanks goes, it is not looking good. The Revivification Crystal has bought this bad boy up to a lot of health, and this one is starting to come back as it is now rallied from routing earlier. Shield of the Old Ones on this right flank, really kind of helping to mitigate a lot of the damage and push to the advantage these king cohorts against these halberdiers, getting both those Bastiladons into that fight as well. Go ahead and slow this one down. This fight is pretty hectic. So we can see that the Cold One Spear Riders in the back have been pushed off by the Royal Altdorf Gryphites and Empire Knights, as well as some elements of the Spearmen, and has really stabilized this mobile shooting force. So those guys can come back online, and they're starting to do tons of damage over here to Nakai. He's got... Oh, and he just gets sniped by Markus at the last second there. Markus over here perched, looking to just do damage from range. You've got that Jade Wizard here. Oh no, Amber Spear just chucking right into wildly into a hill there. And it looks like Markus's new target is on this Feral Colt Dread Saurian, looking to try and just finish this bad boy off. I mean, the balanced power bar is going to shift as one, if not both of those guys die. So getting them down fast is going to be very advantageous to kind of help cascade some of the leadership issues that that we are facing in this fight. Royal Altdorf Gryphites coming to help out Wulfhart as he is plagued by skinks yet again, pulling the Jade Wizard back here to maintain some of some constant healing efforts throughout the army. Boris Todbringer kind of harrying over the battlefield, looking again for a good striking opportunity. Don't want to keep him in too much of a prolonged combat. He does have his ability to regenerate with his both his Reichland Runefang, and he does have his White Pelt of Ulrich on him as well to help out mitigating some melee attack and leadership. Now, the Huntsman again, doing some just long-range damage here onto that Slann Mage Priest. Those Dread Saurian looking to just jump right into those war wagons. And Markus is back here just taking shots again. He has moved now over to the Slann Mage Priest, trying to just get this guy out of this fight. We've got Boris on him, we've got the Huntsman on him, and we've got the Huntsman himself, the Hunts Marshal. Spirit Leech is on him as well. Shield of the Old Ones trying to just kind of help screen out his fleeing out of this engagement here, his retreat. Oof, getting a nice heal as well onto everything in this pocket. Boris Todbringer is pretty well wrapped up right now. He does have Deadly Onslaught popped on him. That's not going to do too much in this situation. You can see that this Dread Saurian on the far left flank is really low in health, got 1600, getting shot so much by these war wagons. Markus is looking to help just kind of put that final kibosh on this bad boy. Just misses that shot, 340, 280 health. Boris is just squeezing out of this fight, and he just gets back up in the air as well. The Slann Mage Priest is so low, 812 health. Everything is just on it by a thread right now. This Dread Saurian is just about to flee off the table here at 108 health. Maybe he gets killed. We'll find out if I keep zoomed back far enough. Nice Earthblood popped onto Boris Todbringer, keeping him in this fight, trying to go right for that Slann Mage Priest here. Just put that Slann in that dumpster. He doesn't deserve to be around here anymore. He does have the help of the Legion of Chakwa, which is going to give him a lot of missile resistance and him a lot of anti-large protection. But bringing Boris right here onto that Skink Priest of Heaven, or Beasts, trying to shut down the casting for Janet and for Gojira. We do still have this Dread Saurian though. Look at this guy. He's just in it to win it. He's flailing into the bitter end. Oh, that last Hellblaster volley gun just plucked that guy out right there. Woo! That was pretty hot and heavy. So we do have this Skink Priest coming back and forth from dealing with Boris. Markus shooting death, like just almost like up close and personal with this Feral Dreadnought right now. Or I'm sorry, Feral Dread Saurian. Dreadnought? Feral Dreadnought? Not 40k. Not Warhammer 40k. Each shot by him is really cool. Right in the back. Just nails Royal Altdorf Gryphite right there. They're going to be able to bring the beast down as the balance of power bar now shifts in favor of Turn and I. Now, in this situation, you know, we do... Oh! We get this off. Let's see. I think watching this ability go off is always pretty cool. Like, you saw from the trailer, like, those swirls around him. Here it is. Here it is. Oh! Oh, blocked by the tree. Anticlimactic. And it looks like we're just starting to mop up the remainder of both Janet on Occasion and Gojira Gaming's remaining Lizardman troops. They still have a good pocket over here of Skinks and Cold One Spear Riders. It's going to be a matter of bringing back the Halberdiers. The Warrior Priest in the far back there, just rubbing the sweat off of his bald brow and bringing things back. Boros Todbringer looking to consolidate and jump here onto the Feral Dreadsarian as well. Looking to finally bring this giant beast down, and he is shattered. We still do have the remnants of this Lizardman portion. There are quite a bit of skin cohorts left here. The Legion, also the Dread Legion of Chakwa, the Legion of Chakwa, looking to mitigate any of Marcus's shots here with that missile resistance. Markus still has just a little bit of ammo left here, and the War Wagons are still shooting down range as well. The Black Lions are still in it, but a Pyrrhic victory that we just barely pulled out of here. Turn and I were really up against the wall almost that entire fight. I mean, if you take a look at it, the Demogryph Knights on both our sides really kind of helped save it. 67 and 98 kills for these guys was just so massive. In addition, the Halberdiers were able to put a lot of threat and pressure against the Dreadsarians, against all these Feral Cold Ones that we dealt with. Man, like, look at those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8, 9 total units of Feral Cold Ones. And they weren't able to get off a ton of kills. 24, 19, I mean, that's 16, that's the most amount from the rest of them. They didn't break double digits, so we were able to kind of get a good threat on them. But 81 kills from this Feral Dreadsarian, and then 155 from this guy as we're just slapping the ground the entire fight. The skin cohorts did a lot of really good backline pressure, and it was really awesome to see those guys just kind of staying in the fight the entire time. Really, though, if you take a look at this, I gotta give it to the Demogryph Knights. 149 for Turin's Demogryphs. The War Wagons also did pretty well too, 22 and 16. The Black Lions were shooting a lot at the Dreadsarians, and even though Markus couldn't do a lot of damage to a lot of units, he was able to do so much damage to those Dreadsarians. In addition, the Huntsmen were able to keep a lot of constant pressure on them as well. But 40 kills in Nakai too. He was just all over the place. This was an amazing 2v2. So huge shout out to Jenner on Occasion, Gojira Gaming, as well as Turin. Make sure you check out all those guys' channels. They cover in-depth, what's this stuff called? Multiplayer battles, as well as a number of other things. So go ahead and head over to their channels. You'll see a comment below with a link to their channels. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one, and take care.